Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be reacting to another Pink Floyd album, Wish You Were Here. The other day I did a Dark Side of the Moon album reaction for the first time ever, and there was a flood of likes, a flood of comments, so thank you all very much for that. I absolutely loved that album, specifically Money, which I'm sure if you guys saw the reaction, you would see how much I loved that one. Absolutely phenomenal. And apparently this one's a lot more thematic. So I'm looking forward to getting into this, maybe hear a little bit more of David Gilmour's guitar, maybe hear more of those beautiful, heartfelt, heart-piercing lyrics. I can already see that Wish You Were Here, the song itself, is obviously on this album, and I think that everybody and their mother knows that song. It's just a sort of simple guitar, but a beautiful song at the same time. It's going to be a little bit of a wild ride. The minimum length of a song here is 5 minutes. Completely different to today's standards, which I like, actually. I don't like the quick, fast, beep, beep, beep music. Like, immediately, here's a song, now the song's over. I like the slow cooking, which I noticed in the first album. So this likely has a bit more cooking. Without further ado, let's get straight into this second album reaction. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Let's get straight into it. I'm excited for this one, I have to admit. Already cooking. I feel like I'm on a spaceship right now. Wow. I'm loving this already. Once again, that psychedelic style. But this time more space-like, more sci-fi-esque. I can't be biased because I like the last album so much. But wow. So far, wow. Oh my god. So far it's already art. Oh my god. Oh my god, Jesus. Oh my god. It seems so simple, but it's kind of bringing emotion out with every note. And the whole parts 1 to 5 part, because that's not the end of the song, so is that part 1? Is it like breaks in between each part? Ooh. Ooh. Once again, still cooking. I don't even know if the song's fully started yet. It's got to. It's been 4 minutes. I think we're going to really whack into it now. Like James Bond. Oh my god. I feel like my whole body exploded when it went in there. Oh my. David Gilmour again. This is unbelievable music. Oh, yes! This is brilliant. I've never in my entire life heard a guitar solo that just flooded emotion into me. The best way to describe that is like the guitar was crying almost. Like the guitar was singing. I've never heard that before. Dire Straits sometimes gets a similar style. Eric Clapton sometimes gets a similar style. That was just all emotion. It wasn't like that was an instrument there. That was just emotion. Which I feel like is most of Pink Floyd's music. It's not instruments, it's just emotion in a song. Everything is so perfect. At least in that last album, I've listened to Money 4 times since that reaction. Sorry for speaking over it, but I feel like it's a good interlude area.
remember when you were young. You shone like the sun. Shine on blazing diamond.
This song is everything.
Now there's a look in your eyes, like black holes in the sky. Shine on, you crazy diamond.
What the hell?
You were caught in the crossfire of childhood stardom, blown on the steel breeze. Come on, you target for faraway laughter. Come on, you stranger, you legend, you martyr, and shine.
They're talking about someone as opposed to general people in the public. I don't know who that would be. Oh my God. Emotional guitar.
You reached for the secret too soon. You cried for the moon. Shine on, you crazy diamond.
This is a beautiful song.
Threatened by shadows at night and exposed in the light. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Well, you wore out your welcome with random precision, rode on the steel breeze. Come on, you raver, you seer of visions. Come on, you painter, you piper, you prisoner, and shine.
And now another saxophone solo. There's a lot of references to Dark Side of the Moon. I heard laughing in my ear. There was so much laughing in the back of the ears of the last album. Saxophone solo. And it mentioned the moon. Whoa. You cried for the moon. Sorry, let me listen to this saxophone solo. This song has it all. Bass guitar in the back. It's changing styles so much. It is in parts, 1 to 5. I get it. Whoa, 12 minutes has not gone by. Whoa. That has not been 12 minutes. I refuse to believe the song's gone that quickly. Oh my God. I need to give you guys a bit of the DV. Do these songs flow into each other like the last one? If so, let me pause it before it does. Okay, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I need to very quickly debrief. I didn't want to talk too much over it, but at times I couldn't help myself. I'm trying my best to be as unbiased as possible because I liked the last album so much. I didn't want to seem like I was already a fan before I heard the full song, but I couldn't help myself. I could not help myself. The moment I heard the flowing guitar at the beginning with the synths And then David Gilmour making his guitar weep. I couldn't help myself from being a fan immediately. If the entire album is that thematic, I wouldn't be surprised if this beats Dark Side of the Moon for me. It's early to tell. We still have 30 minutes to go of this album. But if every song has that style, or is that in depth, this tops Dark Side of the Moon. Already, that guitar solo, in my mind, is on par with Money. Money is my favorite guitar solo of Dark Side of the Moon by a country mile. This was nowhere near as rocking, like rock type. I'm kind of messing up my words because I'm a little bit bewildered by how unique and awesome and beautiful it was. But one thing I want to briefly talk about is the lyrics. Now, it said, you reached for the secret too soon, you cry for the moon. I don't mean to go dark, but is that saying someone's committed suicide? You reached for the secret too soon, the secret of what happens after death? Is that what happened? Is that a friend? Or in 1975, 51 years ago, by the way, they were making music like this. Can you imagine? Did an important figure pass away in 1975? Am I being quite uneducated with my world knowledge of the 70s? Either way, beautiful song. The song had it all, instrumentally, singing-wise, oh my god. But we're going into the next song. Welcome to the Machine. Let's get into this one. My god. Unbiased. Let's try and be a little bit more unbiased, but I'll tell you what, if I can't help myself, then I won't. I'll keep being as authentic as I can, but I'm loving this stuff so far. It's like I'm in a movie scene right now. I'm like visualizing a world right now with this. Okay. It's definitely thematic. You don't really hear much acoustic guitar. In the last album, I mean. I don't remember hearing any.
Welcome, my son. Welcome to the machine. Where have you been? It's alright, we know where you've been.
Is this machine like the machine?
You've been in the pipeline, filling your time.
I'll explain what I mean in a second.
Provided with toys, scouting for boys. You bought a guitar to punish your mom.
These lyrics are a lot more specific than the last one.
You didn't like school, and you know you're nobody's fool.
Amazing voice.
So
Is this meant to be like a 1984 style world they're trying to create? Like, we know where you've been? That's what they're saying before, at least. Very sci-fi. This album's very sci-fi. I don't want to get hate. I'm not the biggest fan of this one.
Welcome, my son. Welcome to the machine. What did you dream? It's alright, we told you what to dream.
I think this is meant to be like a 1984 George Orwellian style world they're trying to make a...
You dreamed of a big star. You played a mean guitar.
He did.
All his angels stayed by. Loved driving his Jaguar. So welcome to the
Mm-hmm. I'm not the fan of this. Please do not come to my house and burn it down for saying this. I was not the biggest fan of that one. I feel like I am a synth fan, but it was just a bit too ear piercing. It was just a bit too painful to listen to, if I'm honest. It seemed like there was no direction. Yeah, they're trying to create this world. I'm not too sure. The lyrics were pretty good. But yeah, it kind of seemed a bit messy. Just a bunch of random synths. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. And if I'm honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of On the Run. Although some of you guys in the comments said that that was one of the best ones on the album. I think this song, Welcome to the Machine, is probably my least favorite Pink Floyd song. It was just too spaghetti junction, I felt, with the synths. It was just too much going on with no real direction. So I'm sorry, but I was not the biggest fan of that one. Huge fan of Shine On You Crazy Diamond, but it did kind of go downhill from there. Now there's three more songs to go. Have a Cigar being the next one, and then Wish You Were Here, which I'm looking forward to listening to again. It's been a while since I listened to that. Lyric-wise, at first I thought it was George Orwellian. What did you dream? We told you what to dream. Where have you been? Well, we know where you've been. So it seemed kind of George Orwellian. But then it started being very specific. He played a mean guitar, you know, always ate in a steak bar, drove a Jaguar. Is it about the band members? About David Gilmour? He played a mean guitar, and damn right he plays a mean guitar. So I don't really know, if I'm honest, what this is. Is the music industry the machine? Is that potentially it? Everyone dreams of being this big star, as I said in the song, but not everyone makes it there. But when you do make it there, you kind of have to do what you're told. Is it that type of thing? Deep lyrics to think about, but if I'm honest, I'm not the biggest fan of that song. And I'm guessing, I mean, this is me really looking into it. I could be completely wrong. The kind of audience sound or the crowd sound that you're listening to now is maybe, well, he's made it to the elites. He's made it to the elites, and that's meant to be the crowd of the elites. I could be looking far too into it and coming up with absolute nonsense, but we're going into the next song now. It doesn't flow into each other. Have a Cigar. Ooh. 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 I like this one more already. A synth-heavy album. I like this though. You kind of feel it through your chest. Unique way of singing. Is this Roger Waters? Okay, I think I'll very quickly pause it right now. I think this is meant to be they're making it big, and then all these kind of money-hungry producers, I guess, or managers, or people trying to get a piece of the pie are kind of clawing onto them. I think it's talking about that. You know, you're going to go far. You know, well done, have a cigar. Well, this came out right after Dark Side of the Moon, which was a super album. So it's probably straight after that, everyone's going up to them being like, oh, you're so amazing. You're so amazing, trying to kind of connect themselves and make money off of them. I think. Yes, it's all about money. These guys that just want to leech off of them and get money. Sorry for pausing it. This is my last pause in this song, I hope. It kind of links up, doesn't it? Money in the first one. You know, money in the first song, money is all about just getting money, kind of do anything to get money. And now they're in a position of stardom, and people are doing whatever they can to get money from them. Yeah. I'm not the biggest biggest fan of the way the guy's singing. I don't know if this is Roger Waters or who, or maybe another band member.
Everybody else is just green. Have you seen the chart? It's a hell of a start. It could be made into a monster if we all pull together as a team.
I love the instruments at the back.
And did we tell you the name of the game, boy? We call it riding the gravy train.
This is really, really well produced. Yes! A Gilmour solo. Oh my god! Whoa! Whoa! That was the epitome of shredding a guitar. It's not like the, I guess you could say Black Sabbath or I'm trying to think of other band members or Motley Crue where their guitar solos, hold on, we're just jumping straight into Wish You Were Here, where their guitar solos is playing a million notes a second. Just, that's what they call shredding. For me, in my opinion, that is shredding. It doesn't have to be super, super fast, but my God, that just gets emotion out. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how David Gilmour does it, but he's just, like, my facial reactions are entirely impulsive. It's dragged out of me. How he does it, I don't know. That is years and years of training, experience. Like I said for Dark Side of the Moon, there's no way they could have gotten that sound of their songs without learning, experience, and developing their sound. David Gilmour there is the most unique guitar player I've ever heard. If it reminds me to anyone, I would say Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits, but even then, they're both in a league of their own. My God, what a song. I wasn't a fan of the way it was sung. It was a bit, well, just unique, but the lyrics were very good. I'm glad I was able to kind of pick it up straight away. My thought, though, is they obviously have a record label when they were making this album. They had producers, they had everyone around them, and this song is about them. Basically saying, yeah, you're just parasites, essentially. You're just lying to me, telling me what I need to hear so I can make you money. You've got to get an album out. You owe it to the people. No, you just want me to make an album so you can get a ton of money. Very interesting and very good. I like that one a lot. That was an awesome one. Doesn't beat Shine On You Crazy Diamond, but definitely beats Welcome to the Machine. Now let's go on to one that everybody knows. Wish You Were Here.
Derek, this star nonsense. No, it isn't. I'm sure of it.
Such a unique guitar solo. Would you call it a guitar solo? As much as I love listening to the guitar, I don't really know much about the technicalities of it all. Would you count this as a solo, per se? I love this song. Oh my god.
So you think you could tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain.
I love the synth in the back.
Can you tell a green field?
Is that synth or is that a guitar?
Cold steel rail,
I think it's a synth.
smile from a veil. Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to train your heroes for ghosts? Hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change.
It's a beautiful song.
Did you exchange a walk-on part in the war for a lead role in a cage?
Top 5 acoustic guitar songs of all time.
How I wish you were here. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running over the same old ground. And have we found the same old fears? Wish you were here.
What a song. I'm sorry that I'm being so quiet, but I'm sure all of you guys are too right now. What a beautiful song. So, one thing, which is why I think it's so unique, is two things. One, the synths in the back. Normally with acoustic songs, if you listen to Bruce Springsteen, for example, whatever it may be, you know, there's no synths. It's just, you get the acoustic guitar and a bit of drums, of course. Maybe a mini bass guitar, like a little bit of bass guitar in the back. But synths kind of brought more life to this song. No one else is doing synths the way that Pink Floyd do synths. Clearly, Shining You Crazy Diamond was amazing, but that's why I love Wish You Were Here so much. Not just the beautiful guitar solo, but the synths in the back that just add a little bit more life to it. And my second point of the song is David Gilmour plays the acoustic guitar a bit like an electric guitar. And I'll show you what I mean if I can. Kind of he's as I say, I don't know the technicalities or really what to call the things I'm trying to explain, but he's dragging the strings up, if you know what I mean. The same way you get a wailing guitar sound like in Shine On You Crazy Diamond, where he made the electric guitar weep. He's sort of doing the same in Wish You Were Here, which I don't really hear in acoustic songs. I'll try and find it quickly for you guys. Maybe it's this what I'm talking about. I think this is exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly that. Now, obviously, a lot of acoustic guitar players play the acoustic guitar in different ways, and you may hear similar styles to that, but play that piece on an electric guitar, and it's gonna sound awesome. And David Gilmour plays the electric guitar just like that, like in Shine On You Crazy Diamond, like in Money, like in Time, but he does this on the acoustic and it works so well. Now, let's move on to the next one, because I may be sounding like a fool for those people that are very into their music theory, play instruments. I probably sound like an absolute amateur, which I am. But I just want to appreciate the guitar absolutely there. Let's move on to the next. Shine On You Crazy Diamond again. But this time, part 6 to 9. Let's get into this one. The last song on the album. And I think we're going to be in for a wild ride right now. Going back to the songs I don't know. Cooking. Super synth heavy again. I wonder how they get this sound for the electric guitar. Brief reminder, this is 51 years old, over half a century, and listen to what they're able to create. So ahead of their time. This is awesome. Listen to Nick Mason on the drums in the back as well. Whoa! Is this on the sliding guitar? The guitar's screaming. Ah! Hence why it has the same name. That's beautiful. These guys are geniuses.
Nobody knows where you are, how near or how far. Shine on, crazy darling. Pile on many more layers,
Oh my God, David Gilmour.
and I'll be joining you there. Shine on, you crazy darling. And we'll bask in the shadow of yesterday's triumph, sail on the steel breeze. Come on, you boy child, the winner and
Whoa.
loser. Come on, you miner for truth and delusion and shine.
It was beautiful to go back to the first song, the first Shine On You Crazy Diamond. But I feel like there's a lot more to come. This feels like it's teeing us up for more. Ooh. Woo-hoo-hoo. This has some soul to it. My God, there's so much personality to their music. I'm guessing this is part 8. The wailing guitar was part 6. The repeat is part 7. There's a part 8. It feels like it's slowing down now. It is. It's kind of I'm not too sure what the genre would be. Funk? But is it really funk music? It kind of has that beat to it. And that bass, that kind of bouncy bass to it. My God. Unique album. Still 4 minutes to go. But a unique album with constant changing styles. Okay. Kind of know a depressing vibe to the album, to the song. I've not appreciated Nick Mason enough. He's put in a great shift on all of these songs. Listen to the drums in the back. Very different to the first album. Very different. It's not really grabbing my attention anymore, if I'm honest. Oh, I do like that though. This is one you have to be silent for. Thematic once again. I like this keyboard a lot. I don't know the person's name. Whoa. Whoa. For some reason, that last little bit right there kind of brought a bit of emotion to me there. It was very much it kind of felt like a goodbye moment, if you know what I mean. It's the end, obviously, last song of the album, but if that was their last song ever, it's kind of like a goodbye. It'd be a perfect goodbye career. You know, goodbye Pink Floyd fans. This is our last album ever. This is our last song ever. And if that's how you ended it, that's a perfect farewell goodbye note. It's hard to describe, but that for some reason just gave me a bit of emotion there. But my God, we've done it. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Let me give you guys my breakdown. Okay, so overall, I was a fan. But if I'm honest, I'm not a big fan of that one. Certainly not in the way that I was with Dark Side of the Moon. That is by far the better album, in my opinion. Now, maybe I need to listen to this a couple times to really understand it more, get into it more. It's certainly unique, and sometimes unique things, new things, they take a bit of time to get used to. Shine On You Crazy Diamond, part 1 to 5 was the best. I say that, but Wish You Were Here is quite, unbeatable. But I'll tell you this. Wish You Were Here, number 1, closely followed by Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Lyrically, there was some deep meaning to that, which I didn't quite understand, but I could appreciate that it was very emotional. Instrumentally, that was a masterpiece. That was art. As I think I said, shortly into listening to that song, that was art. Now, the negatives of this album. Dark Side didn't have that many negatives, in my opinion. On the Run, I wasn't the biggest fan of. But that was really it, I think. This one, Welcome to the Machine, I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm not a fan of the synths. I'm not a fan of the way it was sung. Similar is with Have a Cigar. It's very similar with that. I wasn't a fan of how it was sung, but instrumentally, that was an awesome song. Have a Cigar was a cool song. Welcome to the Machine just didn't hit it for me. As I said, I may need to listen to it a couple of times to appreciate it a bit more, but I would rank that the worst, then Shine on You Crazy Diamond part 6 to 9. It was a good song, dragged on a little bit, despite it being shorter than parts 1 to 5, this one definitely felt like the 12 minutes that it is. Shine on You Crazy Diamond was 13 minutes, but felt like 3. Because I was completely embedded in this world that they created. Nothing around me existed. I was just in this song. Whereas Shine on You Crazy Diamond part 6 to 9, yeah. I kind of thought, okay, maybe it's time to wrap up this song. Welcome to the Machine, you kind of lost me a bit there. Have a Cigar guitar solo. Best one on the album. Best one. Unique song. Who sung, guys? If you know, Have a Cigar, because that did not sound like David Gilmour. And I guess it could have been Roger, but it sounded a bit different in my opinion. I mean, it very well could be Roger, and I just sound silly right now, but it did sound a bit different. Overall, Wish You Were Here was a good album. I wouldn't say it's great. I certainly wouldn't say it's elite like Dark Side of the Moon. In my opinion, it was a good album with a couple elite songs. Wish You Were Here and Shine on You Crazy Diamond. But the other 3, sort of, but really, Welcome to the Machine and part 6 to 9, they kind of dragged it down a little bit. But hey, you guys may disagree. If you do, please do let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for liking, sharing so much love, sharing so many opinions in the comments. It was great to read them all. And please do the same again. If you disagree, if you agree, drop down a comment. I'm reading all of them. It's great to hear you guys' opinion. This has sort of made me begin a little bit of a Pink Floyd fandom, if you will. You know, I really did like the last one. I listened to Money many times since then. This was a pretty good time. I'm listening to Shine on You Crazy Diamond again. Oh my word. What a song. The meaning behind them too. Arguably better than Dark Side of the Moon. I may disagree with that later on when I listen to Dark Side again, but Dark Side of the Moon was more general. Time was a hard hitter that everybody probably feels. Brain Damage was too. Eclipse. Money. I'm sure there's more that I'm forgetting right now. Breathe in the Air. This seemed more specific. More targeted towards their own experiences as opposed to everybody in the world's experiences. Dark Side was better. The next album I'm going to be reacting to is Animals by Pink Floyd. Some of you guys mentioned listening to Medal by Pink Floyd, which is one before Dark Side of the Moon, which I've not actually heard anything about. I know they came up with so many ones. I know there's one where it's a picture of a cow. I did see that one before. But they have quite a few albums before Dark Side of the Moon. I just thought to give it a miss. But some of you guys said to listen to Medal. I'll listen to that probably after Animals and The Wall. I want to listen to The Wall. So maybe that's going to be the last album that I react to. But so far, I'm liking Pink Floyd. And I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, guys, at Grizzly Games on TikTok, at Grizzly Games on YouTube, and at Grizzly Games _ on Instagram. And not to forget, at Grizzly Games on Twitch. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be the best person you could possibly be. And have a great day. Good.